Welcome to Christian Statesman. I'm your host, Zach Wagner, and this is episode 134, The Crossroads. At the time of this broadcast, we've begun the 2022 Winter Olympics. This is significant, for these games, held in communist China, mark an historical crossroads the world now faces. We are soon hereafter to diverge onto one of two paths. The current unsustainable political and economic delusions cannot remain in place and stay stable for much longer. At this crossroads, we see two distinct bends in the road. One leads to worldwide conflict, the collapse of domestic economies and currencies, and a great reset utilizing a new global cyber currency replete with an accompanying social and economic control grid that will change our lives forever. The other path leads to internal countermoves that activate Nasara and a restoration of principles that guided our original republic. It is a race against time and against ideologies. It remains to be seen which forces will triumph. If we go down the first road, the darker path to be sure, we see a road to widespread conflict. As the Olympic Games continue on, we have Russians at the Ukrainian border and Taiwan clearly in the CCP crosshairs. Coupled with potential cyber attacks and economic destruction in America, a possible multi-front global conflict, America would be spread way too thin and likely lose what is left of our fragile, overburdened economic system. This has been the objective of the World Economic Forum and their global puppet masters from the beginning. Get rid of American strength and exceptionalism and replace it with an extreme form of global socialism. This system would eliminate all currencies and national sovereignty in the name of a higher ideal. That ideal involves a global digital currency attached to behavioral social credit mandates for individuals and companies, with all consumer and personal behavior centrally controlled within the parameters faceless and unaccountable global bureaucrats dictate. We are dangerously close to having these systems put in place. Awakening and constitutionally loyal Americans not up for this, you say? How would a 2 or 3 front conflict, combined with renewed pandemics, think Marburg or worse, combined with crippling cyber attacks on our electrical grid and financial markets suit you? How much resistance under such scenarios do you think we will be capable of mustering? This country could be brought to its knees rather quickly. America as we once knew it would soon be gone forever. And our adversaries are capable of delivering such body blows to Uncle Sam, unfortunately. The other road involves the Q school of countermoves, an activation of Nasara, which would see a military-led counter-coup in America that displaces the current corrupt system with a new republic, complete with new elections held under military supervision, the elimination of the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and a new currency issued backed by gold and silver. It would essentially be an internal house cleaning, removing anyone tied to the corruption of the globalist agenda, and an internal reset minus the globalist influence. Rumors of such a countermove have been active for several years, but lack of openly observable actions keeps such potentiality in the realm of wishful thinking. It may not happen unless it happens. No matter how you view things, we will find ourselves shortly in one of these two potentialities. The no-man's land economy we are now experiencing cannot last much longer. It is a house of cards, and the table is shaking. Either of the crossroads ahead will be bumpy and potentially upsetting to our everyday lives. It is simply a matter of which direction we succeed in turning this thing. For the first possibility to happen, a collapse of America and a global reset, all we have to do is nothing. Simply allow current forces to play out to their inevitable conclusion. For Nasara to happen, there must be a massive internal counterforce. This is not an event that can be carried by any grassroots movement of citizens or a renewed emphasis on constitutionally minded candidates in the next election. You cannot, quote, pour new wine into old bottles, unquote, as the biblical maxim explains. This would need to be a kinetic restructuring of a hopelessly corrupt system. Only devoted white hats in our military, as the Q acolytes so frequently point out, have the wherewithal to pull something like that off. It would, however, require the support and understanding of the citizenry should it move from rumor to reality. Either road ahead requires some fortitude. Obviously, one outcome is greatly preferable to another. Buckle up, America. Voice your faith and prayers for real justice on the national and international stage. After all, our future is at stake. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you'll subscribe, and as always, have a blessed day.